I'm sure you've heard of ChatGPT, but these 3 AI tools I'm about to show you today, chances are there's at least one of them you haven't heard of yet. And the beauty is they're all free. Now, just as with any LLM, they all have a paid version, but I've been getting away with practicing and playing with all 3 of these for free. Let's dig in. All right, tip number 1, Manus. I personally love this tool. I don't use it on a daily basis quite yet, but I use it when I want a different opinion or I want to compare a prompt with another LLM such as ChatGPT or even Claude, forgive me. The level of detail that it gives me, especially in comparison to ChatGPT, is unparalleled. Now, it definitely has its use cases, but one fun fact about Manus, the paid version, is they've incorporated VO3 into their video generative AI function. So it's an alternative than paying for the Google AI Pro subscription. Now, I personally haven't compared it side by side to see, can you get more for your money from Manus VO3 versus actually just going with the Google AI Pro or AI Ultra subscription models. But it's a cool little feature because I believe they're one of the first LLMs to incorporate VO3 under the hood for their video generation. I've been coming to Manus when I'm coming up with a new prototype for a SaaS product or a new idea for a new startup. And I found just the level of detail that it gives me. I don't even use ChatGPT for those things anymore. Now, I will still use ChatGPT as my personal assistant, as you know, I have a custom GPT that I've trained to kind of be a clone of me. And I use it to generate ideas. But when it comes to business planning, give Manus a try. Any type of planning, just give Manus a try. I promise you won't regret it. I believe you get about 1,000 credits for free on a daily basis, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it a monthly basis? Okay, forgive me. It's 300 credits refresh every day. And then I believe you get, it looks like the free credits might expire. So check back. I'm going to do a much more in-depth video on Manus as I test it more and more and more. I wanted to create this video, though, to share it with the world and to share it with Clearmud's audience. As you know, I'm learning as I go as well. So I want to share the fun tools that I find along the way before I even become an expert in them. Right? Let's become experts together. So, all right. So tip number 2 is blah, blah, blah. Tip number 2 is Perplexity. This I've been using multiple times per day. I haven't paid for the Pro version yet, although I'm kind of leaning towards paying for the Pro version very, very soon. It's where I go when I want to scour the web for answers. I choose it now over Brave AI search. I choose it over any other LLM when I want to search the web for deep research. I love the way it categorizes and presents all the information that you ask for in just such a good readable format. Now, I do get specific with my prompts, especially if I want charts or if I want a particular table, if I'm comparing products or ideas or market research based on the target audience, I'll ask for a table. So maybe it's my prompting, but I've personally loved Perplexity. It's worth a shot. I know it's one of the lesser knowns if the only thing you know is ChatGPT. Give it a try. As with any tool, practice. Give GPT a prompt. Give Perplexity the same prompt. Do the same for Manus. See what results you get. Just analyze the information presented to you and pick your favorite based off of how it responds with the simplest of prompts, right? You're going to get better at learning how to communicate with AI. Perplexity can do more than just deep research. It can build apps just as Manus can, which I believe I forgot to mention. It's an awesome tool. Now, as of now, I don't think Perplexity offers VO3 for its video generation, but I'd imagine most all of these tools are going to find a way to incorporate it with just the breakthrough that VO3 has had in the industry. It's fast, it's reliable, and it's perfect for small to mid-sized businesses, entrepreneurs, solo entrepreneurs, and creatives. It's a must-know tool and a must-use tool, in my opinion. Let's move on to number 3. This is one I just discovered today, actually, this morning. I was watching a podcast with Greg Eisenberg, I believe. He had one of his old friends that he knew from Singapore on the podcast, and he created a tool called Aura. The website is aurachat.io, but Aura is very interesting because I've been a web developer for quite some time, but I built things the old way. And I'm not a developer first and foremost. I'm more of a business-oriented mind, a sales-oriented mind, and a marketing-oriented mind. But given my past experience of growing up around computers ever since I was like 6 years old, and the family business of just hardware, software, networking repairs for consumers and small businesses, I was always resourceful enough to figure out how to build a website. Now, in most of my web development days, I would use WordPress. Then I graduated to React and Node.js. But Aura, I'm telling you right now, if you've tried prompting a LLM to build you a website, you're going to notice that it gives you a very old, generic, for lack of a better word, ugly looking website, in my opinion. You have to get specific. And what Aurachat does for you is let's actually give you a visual here. So we're going to do a prompt builder. I'm going to log in really quickly just to show you, but you can visualize the website as you build it, and you can add certain features based off of this prompt guide, this prompt builder, that as you're looking on the screen, let's say you want, a slideshow or a title onboarding, or you want it to look like this with a sidebar and a title, or if you want a pricing comparison chart or a portfolio or a gallery. You can get as specific as you'd like, and you can say, hey, let me add to prompt. Now, you do have to pay to use the prompt builder. I'm still using the free version, but I'm using it in the context of I look at this prompt builder, I take note of how it's defined, and then when I go into prompt, Replit is my primary tool that I'm using. I'm also playing with VO by Vercel. I get specific with, okay, build me a website. And then, I'll use colons, create a new paragraph. Above the fold, which generally means before you scroll down, what do you see? And then above the fold, I get specific on how I want the layout to look. Do I want a background image to stretch across the screen with a hero text, title, subtitle, and call to action right above the fold, right? So a lot of this comes with experience, but I highly recommend just search through the prompt builder. I'm most likely going to sign up for this to at least test it for 1 month at some point if I reach that point of needing it. But using this as a reference alone is fantastic. I love how they allow you to view the prompt builder without paying for it. Now, if you want to create a prompt from the prompt builder, as you've seen on the screen here, keep in mind you'll have to pay. But it's just a great reference point. And then layout configuration, these are all just very important details that you have to give your LLM that you're building a website on just to get the proper result and not just a kind of a standardized, very flat, very oversaturated layout that is just outdated at this point, right? Your website in most cases is your portfolio. So you want it to look as clean and attractive as possible and not as dull and flat as possible, right? As most of these standard responses will get you. So highly recommend looking into it. He's got a lot of free resources here that you can just search through his wiki, tips for prompting. I mean, he gives a lot of the sauce, so to speak, as Greg Eisenberg talks about on his channel. gives a lot of the sauce here just within this wiki if you just go to learn. So you don't have to go through the prompt builder. It's just a great resource if you're someone who wants to fine-tune your ability to prompt AI to make dope websites. So I probably went the longest on this one because I've spent the least amount of time on it, but I'm also the most excited about it because it's a new tool. So I hope you found some value in today's video. There are so many tools dropping every single week. It's hard to keep track, and I'm gonna do my best to keep track for you. I'm gonna test them all and share the ones that I think are worth using or testing yourself. So, I'm not an AI expert, but I'm building in public and sharing what actually works. I'm sharing my personal findings, and I hope you find some value. I do have one promise for you. If you'd like to see me make a particular video around a particular tool, drop a comment below. Let me know who you are, what you do, who your target audience is, and what your question is. And I'll add it to my queue to create a video just like this with 3 actionable steps that you can take based off of your line of questioning. So thank you so much for tuning in. This has been another Clearmud production. My name is Marcelo, and I will see you on the next one.